Hi, students and parents. My name is Moses. I'm the head of academics and innovation here at MindStretcher. This June, we are rolling out a new program to help every primary 6 student boost their scores for PSLE. When I was a student, June was the most important month for me to prepare for year-end exams. And I'm not just reading my textbooks again. I'm doing a lot of practice papers, and there's a special way I do them so that I keep track of my mistakes and can reduce my careless mistakes over time. I am memorizing and preparing good examples for my composition and oral topics, whether this is at PSLE or when I'm preparing for general paper in JC. When I was in secondary 4, the only way I got my Chinese from C5 all the way to A1 within a few months was preparing strategically starting in June. So this June, I've worked together with our curriculum team to put together a new PSLE Power Up Programme to bring every primary 6 student through this preparation process. For around the cost of one additional month of school fees, we will conduct 4 additional classes for every student, and we call these mastery sprints because the content that we're covering is quite different compared to that in our regular classes. Apart from the 4 extra classes, students will also get access to our full online Power Up Bootcamp conducted by our master teachers. Every student will also be issued 8 exam packs per subject. So if you attend all 4 subjects that MindStretcher offers, then you'll receive 32 exam packs. And finally, these are the main components, but throughout the month of June, we'll be conducting other value-added sessions and workshops that many students have found useful. So for example, practice paper walkthroughs, we don't spend precious class time doing papers in class, but we expect students to do them at home, and our master teachers will go through the answers and work solutions outside of class time. So what will we be teaching? What do I mean to prepare for exams strategically? Let me give you a few examples. So for English and Chinese, we know that what students often struggle with is the composition, right? And there is a time and place to go through techniques and vocabulary. That's what we do in our regular classes. But for June, 3 months away from the exam, we will make sure to go through 10 to 15 must-know composition plots. We have curated this, we've looked over a lot of exam papers, and we've identified a few common themes and a few common plots that can fit those. We won't just go through the plots with students, but we'll also go through actual model compositions that you can internalize. For things like stimulus-based conversation and oral, same thing, right? Yes, we will introduce you to the frameworks that we're using. We'll reinforce the frameworks that we're already teaching in class. But if you're still not very, very confident, then we will provide you with a list of common topics and common points that you can make. You can switch out your own experiences inside them to make it more personal to yourself. But let us help you get started. And once you master this, then you can go and develop beyond those. Now, many of you may think, is this memorization? And I don't think so. This is how I've always learned. I internalize good things. I don't just scan them. I memorize them and make sure that I can say them when I need to. And then when that is part of my repertoire, then I can expand a lot more beyond. I'm much more confident and I have a solid base on which to expand upon. For math and science, we focus on trending questions, avoiding common mistakes, and going through how to tackle a couple of challenging questions. Again, at this point, we're not focusing on techniques anymore. No, we're making sure that you have a consolidated list of the most common kind of questions for each topic. We're making sure that you have enough high-quality drills and work solutions to make sure that all this low-hanging fruit, you have what you need to practice and do well in these. For common question types, in science, for example, we provide you answer templates. What do these do? These are not just answer keys. These are things that when you revise, you are able to make sure that, for example, for energy change kind of questions, you remember to use increase and decrease. These are simple things that can go a long way in making you more confident in your exam taking skills. For math and science, I've also arranged a special class called Exam Techniques, and we'll be going through a simulated paper to teach students how to take exams smartly. Now, this may sound very simple, but I assure you that it is probably one of the most impactful things that I've done for my own academic career. Taking exams smartly for math and science means that you give yourself the best shot to pick up all the marks that you can get, It means you avoid getting stuck on challenging questions and leaving a lot of easy questions blank. It also helps you to manage your stress through the exam, knowing that you have a plan to get through each page. So it's something that helped me to top my biology subject in RI when I was in Sec 4, and it's something that I want to teach to many students. I have been teaching in more ad hoc sessions, but for the first time, we're going to do it at the Mind Stretcher scale. We'll be providing students with early access to some of the tools that we've been developing to help with the most challenging parts of PSLE preparation. For example, we know many students want to practice their compositions, but it's just very expensive and time consuming to find teachers to help you grade your compo. So we've developed a really good composition coach. It grades your composition according to the PSLE rubrics. It doesn't just give you marks, it gives you detailed feedback on all areas of the rubrics. You can see here it will identify what you're doing well, why you are still in this band, and how to improve, even rewriting some parts of the composition so that you can see how to put some of these suggestions into practice. And not only that, it will give you a model composition that your child as well as parents can study so that you understand what a full mark composition looks like. We do the same thing for oral. We know that for oral, a lot of people want to practice, but it's hard to find a good person to practice with. So similarly, we've developed a tool that will go through your recordings and give you detailed feedback on your pronunciation, fluency, and expressiveness. I've talked to you about a lot of things today, but at the end of the day, the proof is in the pudding. When we talk to our valedictorians, many of them have said that these PSLE preparation programs, whether it's the bootcamp, whether it's mastery sprints, whether it's the tools, were very, very helpful for them in preparing for their PSLE. So what do you have to do? If you're an existing MindStretcher student, then all you have to do is to make payment to confirm your slot in the 2026 PSLE Power Up Programme. We are expecting almost every single MindStretcher student to attend, barring schedule conflicts because of the content that we are covering. We have set aside almost 400 different class slots. So if you can't make it in any given week because of school programs, there are 400 over makeup slots to choose from across the island. And if you're new to MindStretcher, then I've arranged it such that by signing up for MindStretcher's regular classes, you immediately get access to the MindStretcher pricing for this PSLE Power Up Programme. Now, we think this is great value for many students and parents. Here, we are doing both small classes as well as a full boot camp with master teachers. We are also conducting this at a rough price of around 1 month of additional school fees compared to what we have seen outside. And the program stretches across the whole month of June. It's not just these classes, it's not just the boot camp, it's what we think we can do to support your child through this June critical period. Thank you very much for trusting MindStretcher, and I hope to see you in June.